toi?
On va le faire en français si c'est pas, ça vous dérange pas trop.
Or a little bit of English.
Okay, we'll do it in English. All right. So, Eric, what's your company name again?
Our company is Pebble Technology.
Technology, and you did the Pebble watch, and you have one right here.
I do, yeah.
So I'd like to start from scratch. We will take questions on this session, and so get ready. Again, if you're upstairs, you need to go down for the mics, and if you're online, we will also take questions from Twitter and from YouTube, so at LeWeb, or I will also try to check for YouTube comments as we speak. But Eric, tell me the story. How did it start? Where did you get the idea of first the watch, and second the way of fundraising?
So I originally started working on smartwatches when I was in university. I was actually studying at TU Delft, which is in the Netherlands. I was studying industrial design, and everyone in the Netherlands bikes. I think 90% of people bike every single day or something crazy like that. And so I was enjoying the bike community and commuting by bike. But I had a brand new phone, and I didn't really want to drop my phone in the canal just to check my email while I was cycling. So I wanted to be able to just look down at my wrist and see who was emailing, texting, or calling me. That was really where I started working on it. I soldered together some cell phone components and just hacked together a watch. Then it went from there. I graduated from engineering. I studied at the University of Waterloo, and just started working on watches after graduating. It took a hell of a long time. You know, our first product, I'd never made a hardware product before. I had soldered together a lot of electronics and worked with Arduino and stuff like that. But it took quite a lot longer than we expected to get our first product to market.
How long?
So I graduated in 2009, and we started shipping our beta in October 2010. So we thought it would be a little bit shorter than that, but it took that full time. Yeah, it was fun. So we started shipping a watch called Impulse, which I'm wearing now. It worked originally with BlackBerry. We were from Waterloo,
Because
Ontario.
you were in Canada, yeah.
Yeah, and that was the phone in 2008.
We're catching your, yeah.
So yeah, we worked with that. And then we got accepted into Y Combinator and moved down to the Valley in 2011. And naturally, the word on the street was that the iPhone was doing pretty well a little bit. And after WWDC...
So how much did you raise there? How much money? It's not so much about money, right?
No, actually, so the money was quite useful. So as a hardware company, you need cash to actually make prototypes and stuff like that. You can't really spin up an EC2 instance of a watch yet. And so we were just soldering together things still in the garage. We actually made the first 600 watches in our garage, which was pretty cool. We had to learn a lot about dust.
You did 600 watches yourself?
I put the screws in because I was the only one who didn't break the screws as they went in.
Okay, so what happens next? So you have those 600 prototypes.
Yeah.
But no one knows about the company, I guess.
We had started talking about it online, but it's hard to get the word out there. And then we basically had these customers that were super early customers. They were guys, the watch would break, we would ship them a replacement.
How did you find those guys first? Just on
organically, just through
Twitter
the web.
and
Actually,
stuff?
it was a bit of a funny story. So when we first launched for BlackBerry, everyone on the web thought that BlackBerry was launching a watch. So the news spread that BlackBerry was launching a watch, and they had to, all the other people who blogged about us had to come up with follow-on articles about how it wasn't actually BlackBerry, it was actually this tiny little startup. So that was pretty cool. So if you ever get the chance to accidentally launch your startup as a larger company, that ends up working well.
Did RIM try to buy you
No.
early on?
No, they did not try to buy us. But there was a really funny interview with Mike Lazaridis where someone asked him, what do you think of the BlackBerry watch? And he was like, no comment.
What? What is that?
Yeah.
Oh, no comment?
No comment. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. But then the big news was that at WWDC last year, Apple announced compatibility. They allowed background applications to run if they were paired with a hardware device. So that was really the go-ahead goal for us. That's when we shifted from BlackBerry to iPhone and Android.
And then, how about Kickstarter?
Kickstarter came very recently. So I've been backing projects on Kickstarter since 2010. I think the first product that I backed was a watch, actually. The TikTok. Makes your iPod Nano into a watch. And so I knew about Kickstarter, and in the Valley, there's quite a few companies that are working on hardware as well. So we get together every 2 months. We have an event called Solid State Startups. and Kickstarter was on like the tips of everyone's tongue.
Can you explain what Kickstarter is for
Sure.
like everyone knows, just in case?
Kickstarter is a crowdfunding method for gathering donations. It's not specifically designed for startups. It's actually designed for creative types. So
Yeah,
they
like a
launched,
movie.
exactly, or a TV show. I think a lot of albums or recording artists are raising money on Kickstarter to launch an album. It's a great platform. So it's very self-service. It's like Craigslist. You just go online, you open a new project listing, you post a video, you post a nicely formatted, very consistent formatting on their products or the
It
pages.
can be anything?
I think they have several categories. We ended up in the design category.
Okay.
And we decided to go on Kickstarter. We tried raising money from the institutional sort of investors, and we were unsuccessful.
You were unsuccessful raising any money with investors?
We got a few angels
That's
on
such a
board.
cool story.
Yeah, we got a couple angels who backed us right after Y Combinator, but when we tried to raise money again, we had designed our next product, Pebble, and supported iPhone.
So you go to Sand Hill Road,
We did go to Sand Hill Road, yeah.
and you meet the
some meetings.
Sequoias and all those guys.
Yeah, and it didn't go so well. I mean, we took some meetings and chatted with some people, but unfortunately, it's quite hard to get funded as a
What
hardware
was the
company.
feedback?
I was trying to think about that. I think the feedback was generally you need more users. You need to be able to demonstrate that you'd have a larger audience. So we took that feedback. I mean, obviously, we had still hoped on raising venture financing at
You
some
must
point.
laugh today.
Today?
Yeah, but the
most
fact that
of the
they...
days, most of the days are pretty good now.
No, but they turn you down and
Oh.
you go raise 10 million without them. It's so cool.
Yeah, I think that the one thing that we did with Kickstarter.
Can you tell me the names of the VCs who turn you down?
No, unfortunately, I can't do that. I could tell you the ones that did back us. So Tim Draper from DFJ actually put 100K into us just based on what he saw at demo day at YC. He just decided to put some cash in, which was great because that was one of the first infusion was how we got to where we are today.
And from 0 to $10 million on Kickstarter, how long did it take?
30 days. Yeah. So we raised the first million in about 28 hours on Kickstarter.
Wow.
And then
How is that
it
possible?
kinda
Did
kept
people
going.
tweet about it? Or not so much? Did it stay on Kickstarter?
I think you guys tweeted about it.
Maybe. I bought 5 of them.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Just because you have a family pack or whatever. No, you don't call it family, but I
think it's the
have
office
3
pack.
boys.
Yeah.
And I thought if I brought one home, they would want one instantly. So
So one of the really cool things that we're planning for Pebble, which is a smartwatch that talks to iPhone and Android, is the ability for people to write applications for the watch. So we're launching an SDK, a software development kit, that will let people create new watch faces or games. Casual games are actually quite a bit of fun. We've made a couple demos of Tetris and Brick Breaker. It's pretty cool. And I think that similar to the way that Arduino is a great way to get started with creating small bits of hardware, I think that our SDK will let people make an app that runs on your body almost.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's great for sports and fitness. Has an accelerometer built in, and you can track your sports. I think someone's working on a swimming app, and we have running apps in the works.
Can we see it?
Yeah.
Can we get the camera on those 2 watches?
Yeah. So this is the first.
So this one you've shown, but not that one, right? So for
Correct. This is the Impulse. This is the one that we launched a while back.
Can we add a?
Oh, there we go.
Okay, great. They are faster than that.
Yeah.
So you need to show it in front of you.
Whoops. There we go.
Here-
Yeah. So
here
this is Impulse, and it works with my phone. So it actually works with Android. And this was the watch that we worked on just as we were getting into Y Combinator.
Yeah.
We sold it for $150, and yeah. And we.
So what's happening here? What
So
are
these are
those?
some
Text
emails,
messages?
text messages. This is a friend. She's awkwardly watching LeWeb at work.
Well, that's cool.
And so that's what we launched on.
So this one is live, basically.
Yeah, it's connected to my phone. If someone sent me a text, it would actually come up right there. So I'll put it down now.
So
before
this
someone
one
does.
is kind of out, and that one you've never shown yet?
Yeah, so this is
That's the actual...
This is Pebble. This
Okay.
is the one that we demoed at Kickstarter. It's an e-paper based watch. So from this watch, which used an OLED screen, it would get washed out when you went outside for a run. But this one, we switched to an e-paper screen that it looks great outdoors. It's a high resolution screen, so you can see watch faces. We also partnered with Runkeeper, which is a fitness application. I think they have
Yeah, I
millions
use
of
that every
users.
day.
Yeah, it's great. I go cycling. And this actually gives you a heads-up display for Runkeeper. So when you go for a run or a bike ride, you put your phone in your back pocket, and you could see the elapsed time, the distance traveled, pace, or your current speed.
And can you interact with the app as well, or is it just display?
It has 4 buttons, yeah, and so it's kind of up to the app developer. We're leaving three buttons on this side for the app developer to work with, and then we have a back and system button on there.
So they can program that with the API.
Yeah.
What else do you have here? What is that?
So this is a message from Twine. Twine is another project that launched on Kickstarter. They're a little 4-inch or 2-inch cube that has a Wi-Fi chip in it and a bunch of sensors. And so these guys, they actually helped teach us quite a bit about Kickstarter. You know, I Skyped with them for 2 hours to chat about what it's like to launch a project on Kickstarter. They helped out, and then after we launched, we decided to partner with them, and they made a really cool video. So they put their Twine, which is this Wi-Fi sensor block, they put it on a door, and then they created a little program for Twine where you could knock on the door in the right pattern, and it would send you a message on your watch wherever you are if someone was knocking on your door.
Anything else?
That's it on this one.
So tell me what are the cool apps you know are coming.
Well, I think
and you can just grab your API, right? It's all online.
Yeah, well, it's not available yet. It's going to start coming out in August.
Oh, you had to apply to get your API.
No, the API will be public. Everyone can.
But today, how do you get it?
Oh, it's not. We're not finished yet.
You had to be on Kickstarter.
No. It's just not out yet.
Okay. So tell me about the cool apps, and then we'll take the first question from the audience, hopefully.
So I'm really interested in notifications, figuring out like what sort of cool notifications can you get on your wrist. So websites can send notifications to users of Pebble, or other apps can send notifications. So stock, weather. I think fitness will definitely be the start, and we'll see more people sort of adopt it from there. But just thinking about who was speaking today, like Halo and Uber, I think it would be very cool if you can get a notification that your cab was waiting on your watch.
Instead of having to pull the phone?
Yeah, it would be kind of cool.
Yeah. What other apps would you like them to do?
I think watch faces is going to be one of the first ones. For our first watch, for Impulse, we had over 80 watch face, over 60 watch faces created for the watch, even though we only had 1,400 watches out in the field. Now we have over 85,000 Pebbles. I think there's going to be a large market for people writing really cool. You're
manufacturing 85,000.
Just the first batch is 85,000. So
you have a busy summer ahead of you. Huh?
Yeah, we are.
Question for Eric. Yeah, right there.
Hi. Well, first of all, I wanted to congratulate you with this super successful Kickstarter campaign. Just wanted to ask you, what is your take on the Kickstarter role in terms of, bringing more success to hardware startups? And the second question is, what are the lessons learned from your Kickstarter campaign, and what would be your advice to the hardware startups out there?
Sure. So Kickstarter is a great platform. We weren't the first people to use Kickstarter as a fundraising platform for hardware, and we won't be the last. I think it's a great way. There's 2 ways that I think you can use Kickstarter. One is in the early stage to get the word out about a very new product and raise small amounts of funding for just prototyping. So that if you're looking to raise about $50K just to build a prototype, I think that going on Kickstarter is an excellent method of doing that. There's 2 things. You find out if anyone actually wants what you're making, and B, you find out if people are actually willing to pay for what you're making, which is pretty much the most important things that you could learn as an early startup, hardware or not. Kickstarter, I think, will be used quite a bit in the future. And some tips for Kickstarter. So we used Kickstarter a little bit differently. It wasn't our first product, so we decided to create a pitch that would apply to a larger user group than just the hardcore Hacker News creators. I think we were looking a little bit past that to the larger iPhone community and Android as well. I think that with Kickstarter, you have to make it very clear. It's a short pitch, and you're trying to convince someone to buy your product before it has even come out. So for our pitch, we focused on 3 things: running, cycling, and using Pebble around the house. And with those 3 use cases, we made a 2.5-minute video and took some pictures of Pebble as we were using it around the house, and that worked for us. I'm sure there's other ways that you can use it. You can create more of a polished presentation, but yeah, it's a great resource.
Here's one from the YouTube chat on the right of our YouTube stream. Are you planning on through generations as the iPod has done?
I think our major goal right now is to ship the most awesome watch possible for our Kickstarter backers. These are the guys who believed in us, before anyone else did. So our job and what we wake up and do every single day, all around the world, we have guys in Taiwan right now, the Netherlands, Canada, and the US. And our only goal is to make these watches as awesome as possible. From there, obviously, we'll be looking at creating a developer community that will allow people to write apps to run on our platform. And I think we'll see where we're going from there.
One from Graphy Vilbert. Is the future of Pebble a color screen?
Color screen. Color e-ink is one of those things that's kind of perpetually a couple years out.
And you need ink so we see it under the sun.
Exactly, okay. Yeah. So I don't think we'll be switching back to what we had before right now.
Let's take one from here. They're first changing the...
Thank you. Alim, I was wondering if you were planning on including a heartbeat sensor, a heartbeat measurement sensor in the Pebble in the future, like the basis watch?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think heart rate is it's tough to grab from the wrist. From the people, the professionals that I've talked to, when you run, your watch bounces around, and it's tough to get a reliable sensor measurement. A lot of the heart rate sensors that I've seen are on your arm or across your chest. We actually have Bluetooth 4.0, Bluetooth Low Energy in Pebble. So our current plan is just to allow people to connect their sensors that they might already have for running with Pebble. So I don't think we'll have a heart rate monitor sensor in the watch, but we'll be working with them.
Here. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike from My Banana. We've actually exchanged emails before. I don't know if you remember. I was wondering what the current production stage is and what the estimated shipping date is.
So we started work right after Kickstarter happened. Since we were we were amazingly lucky, obviously, from the amount of backers that we have. So we even before we had the money, we started buying components. One of the important things on a hardware project is to manage your supply chain. So when we saw that lots of people were buying Pebble, we decided to put in some really large component orders about 6 months ahead of our estimated shipping date. That helped us get back on track, because if we had left it till after Kickstarter, and it's an important lesson for some people that are going on Kickstarter, components sometimes have very long lead times, like 4 months. So we bought those ahead of time. We, in the middle of our Kickstarter project, me and two other guys went to China to look at the factories that were going to be making the watch. We got those guys on board, and quite a really good feedback from factories. When you go over there with an order for 85,000 units, they're pretty happy to work with you. So we're on track to ship in the fall. I don't have any specific changes to our ship date, but like I said, we're working as hard as possible.
There is a question every 2 seconds on YouTube. Okay. Will there be a microphone in Pebble?
No microphone on Pebble.
Does it work with Siri?
Siri. We don't have any new details. I think there was some interesting stuff with iOS 6, and Siri will be looking into it.
Are you working on Windows Phone support?
We've got some emails from Microsoft.
Okay, this is great. This was only the last 30 seconds of questions. Anyone in the room? Yes.
There's someone at the front.
Right in the front. Are you doing a hangout after that?
We are, yes.
Okay, so just that you know, we have limited stage time, but Eric will be on a Google Hangout just after that, right?
Yeah, and I'll be showing off the watch as well.
And there you don't have a time limit, I guess. So you guys online, you will be able to. Sorry, go ahead.
I think this is the sickest thing I've seen in a long time.
That's awesome.
And as a digital marketer, obviously, I see so many use cases. I love my Nike Fuel Band.
Oh, yeah, you got
This has totally blown it out of the water. I hate to say that.
What do you like the most about it?
Well, first of all, to me, it's the first that I've seen. This type of technology hasn't been prevalent. So I guess I really had nothing to compare it to. From a design standpoint, I like that it's simple and small. But I would like some more usability, like the Pebble gives me. So I would consider something a little larger. Just being able to keep my phone in my purse makes a big difference to me, and just having the notifications here. So my question is, do you see yourself as kind of blowing Nike fuel and these, types of technologies out of the water, or will you try to integrate with them? I mean, I just can't see wearing two, so it's either going to be you
So
or
we're
Nike fuel.
we're focused very much on the hardware side of it. We've worked really hard on getting this platform to have a long battery life, so Pebble lasts for 7 days, even while it's running continuously and connected to your phone. So we worked very hard on that. On the software side, we're most interested in talking to developers and really getting feedback from people who might be interested in writing an application, either Nike themselves or anyone who's interested in writing a Nike-ish application for Pebble. We'd be their #1 supporters, trying to make the APIs available and really get their software to the point that they want
That's
it.
a diplomatic answer.
From Twitter, Thomas Power and Joy Inbox are asking, will there be will we be able to play with a watch after the show?
Not today, unfortunately.
Oh, you don't want to show that?
Well, I'd show it off.
Oh, that's what they want to do, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I'll be around.
You'll be there.
Yeah.
So yes, the answer is yes. From @FMACKO, whatever, JC, I'd like to ask Eric what he thinks are the biggest challenges for Pebble.
That's very fair. So I think
build 85,000 watches.
Building 85,000 watches is a major challenge. We've got some pretty cool guys on our team to help out with that. So that's #1. And the second thing is, these people backed us out of nowhere practically. It's not a product that people wake up and think about, that they want a smartwatch. So we've got a lot of expectations to deliver. I think we're working to manage those expectations and, delivering what we promised on the Kickstarter page. But I think we have a lot of room to grow in terms of functionality. And that's what we'll be looking at in 2013.
Another one from the room.
Yes.
Hey. First of all, it's a cool thing. I'd probably definitely look to try and do some research on it. The one thing I'd say, when people try and buy a watch, are they really looking for a smartphone? Because if I'm wearing it the whole time, I mean, is it waterproof? Is it going to be broken if I'm doing the washing up or whatever?
So we designed Pebble to be a sports watch first and foremost. So it's water resistant to swimming, for swimming and showering. It lasts a week, which our first watch only lasted about 20, 30 hours. So that was one of the biggest feedback things we got. It's easy to charge. You just carry around a little micro USB cable and you can charge the watch. It can take a beating. It is a sports watch.
Because the problem is with creating a watch that's basically a smartphone is that people just want a watch. They don't want this thing which is going to be cumbersome to wear the whole time. But it's probably something to.
So Pebble doesn't actually replace your smartphone. It complements it. So you still have to carry around your smartphone if you want the functionality, the Bluetooth connected functionality. It also works as a sports watch without your phone. But that's one of the things. It is pretty small for a smartwatch.
So the questions keep you have a hard product. We keep having questions, tons of them. They are asking where. So you're going to be on the Google Hangout in a few minutes. We'll tweet it on @LeWeb, so you can keep going as long as we'll keep you the whole night there with Eric. But just a few closing ones. Generally, this is. Do you think it's a new era which is arriving, the Internet of Things, and you're one of the very first that is so connected?
Yeah, you see companies like Nest create a thermostat that connects to the internet. One of my buddies is working on a product called Lark, which monitors you as you sleep and can do a silent wake up. It's getting much easier to make hardware. We started with, I think I borrowed $15,000 from my parents, and that was our first sort of cash that we worked with. Getting cheaper, it's more efficient. It takes a little bit of time still. The lead times are a little bit longer than software projects, but I wouldn't do anything else. I love the fact that there's software and hardware integrated together. That's my favorite part.
Do you think we'll have, how many internet-connected objects you think we'll have on our bodies?
So personally, I think that people will be carrying around a tablet or a laptop as one of their primary communication things. I think that we're always going to have something in our pocket that connects to the internet, and I think that Pebble might be one of the first things that people wear that connects to the internet.
And in 5 years, we'll have a Google Glass, and we'll have
Google Glasses. Yeah, probably.
What do you think about the Google Glass?
I haven't tried them yet. It would be pretty fun.
But
to
the
try
idea.
Out. The idea. I mean, I've been dreaming about that since I read my first Orson Scott Card 20 years ago.
I hear you, if you move your head, it does something, right? So the Googlers I know are playing with it. They keep doing that all the time.
Keep wobbling their head.
Maybe it will have a bad impact on you. Eric, this is so impressive, really. Congratulations. And I'd like to invite you right now to LeWeb in Paris. So we follow up your success. I hope you can make it.
Excellent. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Eric. And
Thanks, Loic.
again, it's going on online. Thank you, Eric.
Thanks very much.